So I'll call you a snitch whenever the hell I want. Get the hell out of my...
Why? Why would they do this? Who's to blame? Hey there, welcome to TV Guide. I'm Megan Vick, and you're joining us for a new video franchise we're calling The Rumble, in which we take your favorite TV characters and pick sides in their biggest fight.
You gonna do this with or without me, ain't you?
I am.
All right, I'll do it.
The drama really started when Jordan had the nerve to ask Spencer to train him in football despite having a concussion injury that had put him in the hospital earlier in the season. Spencer agreed because, well,
Somebody's gotta keep that dumbass safe.
he knew Jordan, and if he didn't help out, Jordan was going to do it anyway. And at least if Spencer was there supervising, Jordan wouldn't get seriously hurt again.
Did we win?
And while Jordan had his reasons for wanting to train really hard to get back on the Beverly football team, you know, like being able to still play football in his senior year and getting a D1 scholarship to play college football, things ended up blowing up when both of them decided to run their mouths about the unsanctioned practice, and it all came to a head at a giant brawl right before the state championship game right outside the Coliseum, which almost cost both the teams their glory.
And the game will probably be canceled.
But we're here to talk about who's to blame. Was it emotional and reckless Jordan who couldn't keep his mouth shut, or was it Spencer who almost let his hero complex get the best of him?
How could you be so reckless?
We're starting with Jordan, who had a lot of reasons for asking Spencer to train him. And honestly, we understand the pressure that he was under. He knew he had to get back on the field in his senior year in order to impress college scouts and get a chance at a scholarship. Otherwise, his future was completely up in the air. The one smart thing that Jordan did was he at least asked Spencer to look out for him while he was working out instead of working out by himself. He's done way dumber things in the past, so asking for a supervisor is actually like one of the less boneheaded things that Jordan decided to do. The fact that he chose Spencer is a bit problematic, but we'll get into that in a minute.
You do know that your teammates gonna be pissed as hell if they find out you were helping the enemy, right?
Also, when Jordan decided to spill the beans about their unsanctioned practices, he told Asher in a moment of weakness. He was venting. He didn't actually mean to do it, and revealed that he had given their opposing team all of the offensive plays for the state championship game.
We've even run through our whole offensive playbook.
The point is, he didn't mean to be stupid, which is a little bit different from what happens with Spencer.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Another thing is that Jordan thought Crenshaw's season was over when he approached Spencer with the idea to help him working out. So when they devised this plan, neither of them thought they were actually helping out the enemy because they weren't supposed to be. However, that doesn't mean that Jordan should have gone to Spencer. And that's really the big flaw in the plan here, is that he went to Spencer, who plays on an opposing football team. Asher was right there, and Asher has proven that he's been a great assistant-ish coach all season. So why didn't Jordan go to his other BFF who was on his same football team if he wanted to do this? Yes, Asher's been all moral authority this season, but still would have made a safer play than Spencer, you know, all considering. Secondly, Jordan snitched on himself.
Look, I've been training with Spencer for weeks.
He did tell Asher that he was training with Spencer, and he gave away all of their plays to the opposing team. So what else was Asher supposed to do but go to their coach and figure out what to do?
Jordan told me something that I can't unhear.
If Jordan was gonna blow up about someone snitching about their unsanctioned practices, he has to take a big look at himself. Because the reason both teams found out is because he told Asher and Asher told Montez. So really, like, Jordan isn't blameless in this whole thing, but it all could have been avoided had he just picked someone besides Spencer to help him train. Asher has done a lot of sketchy shit, so I feel like he would have helped. Ooh, Asher also gave away the playbook to an opposing team. And he did it on purpose. Also, he did steroids. Everybody's done some sketchy shit. Jordan cheated on a drug test. There's a lot of drama on All-American. Now, in Spencer's defense, Jordan came to him with a deal, and that's his best friend. So Spencer knew that he had to help out his bro, and he also knew that if he didn't help Jordan get in shape, Jordan was going to do it by himself, and that would lead to an even greater risk of injury. So in Spencer's head, it was better for him to supervise and look out for him and take him to the hospital if something did go wrong, rather than letting Jordan work out by himself and God knows what would have happened. And also, when Jordan came to Spencer with this deal, Crenshaw's season was supposed to be over.
It appears the South Crenshaw Chargers have just forfeited the game in protest.
Their season's over. They sacrificed everything.
They had just forfeited the game they needed to get into the state championship, so Spencer didn't have the conflict of interest that would later arise when a bunch of other teams forfeited and then Crenshaw got to get back in the running for state championship. However, that brings us to the argument against Spencer because when Crenshaw's season resumed, he still kept training Jordan. And the fact that neither of them thought like, hey, we're on opposing teams, we're both trying to get to the state championships, maybe we shouldn't be sharing plays with each other, is like a serious problem. But what Spencer's biggest sin here out of the whole thing is that when he snitched about the unsanctioned practices, he told Billy out of guilt. He didn't have to tell him. There was actually no logical reason to tell Billy. Billy just said he was proud of him, and Spencer felt bad that he was keeping a secret. So he went and told his head coach that he was doing unsanctioned practices with his concussed son, who was also the quarterback for the opposing team going into the state championships.
No, you risked his future?
So yeah, like, Spencer purposefully telling Billy what was happening caused a lot of drama and instigated the fight outside of the Coliseum at the state championships, and Billy never had to find out, right? Like, Spencer just could have kept his mouth shut or waited until after the state championship game to tell him. You know, like, the timing on that was real bad and it didn't need to happen, period. Now we've laid out the arguments both for and against Jordan and Spencer for who is to blame for the gigantic brawl outside the state championship football game in the All-American Season 3 finale. But now it's time to make a decision. Who actually deserves the blame? And you know what, guys? It's Spencer, man.
Congratulations.
You know, Jordan was dumb, and he shouldn't have told Asher. That caused a lot of heartache. But actually telling Asher allowed Beverly to come up with a new game plan, and they were better prepared going into the state championship than they would have been if Jordan hadn't told him.
Jordan can make that pass.
Next play.
Meanwhile, Spencer had absolutely no reason to tell Billy about the unsanctioned practices. All that did was piss Billy off and piss Jordan off. And with Jordan being pissed off, that's why he popped off at Spencer when both teams got off the bus at the state championship. The fight would not have happened if Spencer hadn't told Billy. And if there was a fight, it would have been purely among the Beverly Hills football team. So really, Spencer did this, man. Luckily, both Coach Montez and Billy stepped in and saved the state championship game and allowed both teams to play. But we still don't know who won. To find out, you'll have to tune in to the All-American Season 4 premiere on October 25th at 8 p.m. on the CW. If you like this video and want more content like this from TV Guide, make sure to like this, press subscribe, and we'll see you later.